What's up, Archons? I'm Flightless Pheasant, and today we have more spoilers. This time they're going to be Mars and Shadows. So this is typically how they do it. They show off the new house first, and then they do the other 6 houses in pairs of 2 with the in alphabetical order. So we got Ekwidon and Geistoid earlier this week. We got Mars and Shadows now, and we'll finish with Skyborn and Unfathomable. So let's see what we've got to look at for Mars and Shadows, because we actually haven't seen very much of the Mars previews so far. Let's take a look at some new cards for House Mars and House Shadows coming to KeyForge Draconian measures. Alright, we've shown off some of the Dragons, Merchants of Ekwidon, and the discarded refuse of Geistoid coming to KeyForge Draconian measures. Now it's time to take a look at the next 2 houses coming to the set, Mars and Shadows. Alright, so the Martian Empire. So we know that House Mars has been consolidated under Memrox. He is now Emperor Memrox. He's now in charge of all of House Mars, and Mars is going to be a little less fighty and a little more control-y because the Soldiers Rebellion has been put down. So let's take a look at what that looks like. The Empire of Mars continues its biological experiments to create the perfect monster and fight using ray guns and flying saucers to ensure its culture survives. Their efforts in Draconian measures will remain aimed towards this goal. Let's take a look. Alright, so we've got a guy here, Agent Boof. It's a Martian agent, so we've got another agent creature in Mars. 4 power, after Reap, if you're overwhelmed, give a friendly creature 3+1 power counters. Otherwise, give a friendly creature 1+1 power counter. That's not too bad. We're doing a lot of power counter stuff. I don't hate it. Clygnug, Martian soldier, 3 power. Enhanced damage, power counter. After Reap, you may move each +1 power counter from a creature to the common supply. If you do, archive a card. Well, that's not too bad. And then the last one is Replacement Targ, Martian soldier, 3 power with deploy. Put a neighboring non-soldier creature into its owner's hand. If you do, the most powerful friendly creature captures 2. Put a neighboring non-soldier creature into its owner's hand. Oh, so that you can't just chain them, so that he can't put himself back into your hand. All 3 of those are commons, so I guess those are all actually pretty good at a common rarity for what we should expect. Let's see what they have to say about it. Agent Boof is a 4 power creature that can offer its teammates boosts with Agent Boof. With an after Reap ability that reads, if you're overwhelmed, a friendly creature gains 3+1 power counters. Otherwise, give each friendly creature a +1 power counter. As mentioned in previous updates, Overwhelmed is a newly defined game term where a player is overwhelmed anytime there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures. Yeah, that's very good. Several enhancers coming to Draconian measures will support the +1 power counter bonus icon. When you play with a +1 power bonus icon, you immediately place a +1 power counter token on a creature of your choice. Clygnug is one of them for House Mars. It also deals out a damage bonus icon to a card in the deck. It then has the After Reap ability to move each +1 power counter from a creature to the common supply. For doing so, you can archive a card. Pairing a Reap from Agent Boof with a Reap from Clygnug could result in quickly stashing a card away for a later turn. It's not too bad, but I don't know. I think the power counters might actually be better than the archive. That's probably not true. Finally, we see Replacement Targ. It features the keyword deploy, which means you can place it anywhere in your battle line when played. Normally, a creature needs to be placed to the left or right flank as they come out. However, with deploy, you can trigger its play effect. It reads, put a neighboring non-soldier creature into its owner's hand. If you do, the most powerful friendly creature captures 2. This can be useful in a number of situations, and it can be a great way to quickly get your opponent off of check for forging a key. Can also be combined with a strong play effect on another creature, allowing you a chance to activate the effect again. Yeah, which is specifically why it can't work on itself, because that would be too good if it could just bounce itself and you could play it 6 times and capture 12 amber. That's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Alright, so let's look at Shadows. Rising from the Shadows. The members of House Shadows like to sneak their way to victory instead of a head-on clash. These members prefer to be elusive and swipe away the amber from their opponents. Here's what they're bringing to the table in Draconian measures. Let's take a look. So we've got Achromatic Basilisk. It's a 2-power beast with skirmish that says after fight, exhaust an enemy creature. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, actually. And that's also at a common. Looks like the second one's an uncommon and the last one's a rare. Blank Check is an action with an Amber Pip that says play. Each player shuffles their archives and discard pile into their deck. Discard the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. Play the top card of their deck as if it were yours. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. So everybody shuffles their archives and discard into their deck. Your opponent discards 5 cards, and then you play the 6th one. Yeah, that's a lot. Plus an Amber Pip. That is many things. That's very, very, very disruptive. Is it, like, super potent? Are you going to get a lot of, like, huge value for you out of it? Probably not, but the disruption cannot be understated. That's fantastic. And the last one is an action called Keep the Change. It has an Amber Pip and says pay your opponent up to 6 amber. For each amber paid this way, draw a card. Okay, so you're going to give them at least one from the Pip. And it says, AC said you had some dough for me. All right. Oh, right, because it's from Dirty Harry. Keep the Change. Oh, man. I think that's Dirty Harry. Correct me if I'm wrong, as always. I like that. That's actually pretty cool. Give my opponent amber, but I get to draw cards. That feels very Ekwidon, actually. But I still like it in Shadows, especially with the flavor they gave it. Quick Strikes are what Achromatic Basilisk brings to the table. With Skirmish, it will attack, but not receive damage in return. This pairs well with its After Fight ability to exhaust an enemy creature. This could be used to exhaust the creature it attacks, or be used to destroy one creature and exhaust another in the same turn. Yeah, very good. Blank Check brings a lot to the table with its ability. First, it sees each player shuffle their archives and discard pile into their decks. This can be a great way to neutralize your opponent building up their archives for a future turn, or disrupt their rush to be haunted and stay haunted by not flipping their deck. Then, they discard the top 5 cards of their deck, which could put cards they are seeking into their discard pile. Finally, you play the top card of their deck as if it was yours. This can be useful in denying a card to your opponent. If this turns into a creature or artifact, even if it doesn't match your current houses, it removes it from being played by your opponent. Yeah, no, definitely. The disruption's fantastic. It's like every kind of disruption you could ever want in one card, except for hand disruption, I guess, but like still great. And then finally, Keep the Change may look helpful to your opponent, but the right setup could see all the game go to you. It says pay your opponent up to 6 amber. For each amber paid this way, draw a card. With Shadows being known to have sticky fingers for your opponent's amber, you could pay to draw cards and then quickly steal all that amber right back. Yeah, I was definitely thinking about that. Like, I can't steal amber you don't have, but if I give you a bunch of amber and then steal it, that's incredible. That's all for new cards. Now let's look at the returning stuff. Let's do that. Alright, so for Mars, we've got Collector Worm. Nice. Destroy them all. Good. More board wipe. Well, not board wipe. Targeted removal in that case. Extinction. That's closer to a board wipe. Harmonic Pack and Mass Abduction. Yeah, good. Good all the way around. And then for Shadows, we've got Chain Gang, which means we're also getting Subtle Chain. Fall Guy. Love Fall Guy. Routine Job. Very good. Too Much to Protect is back. Nice. And Widespread Corruption. Yeah. All good all around. Very happy. Very happy with those reprints. Nothing really incredibly insane. I really hope we do not get a reprint for Key Abduction, because we've already seen some Mars cards that synergize with it way too well, and Key Abduction's just busted and should never get printed again. It really shouldn't, ever, under any circumstances. Fight me. I don't think so. I think it's too powerful and needs to never get printed again. That's my opinion. But anyway, yeah. So those are the Mars and Shadows previews. I'm sure we'll get more previews. They're going to do Skyborn and Unfathomable, I assume probably next week. We've also got content creator spoilers still coming out. I'll go over all the content creator spoilers in a video once all the content creators have put their spoilers out, because I don't want to steal their thunder until everybody's done everything they're going to do. So, yeah. But put your thoughts down in the comments. Tell me which cards you like. Tell me which cards you don't like. Tell me what you're excited about. But that's all I have for you today. So until next time, later, Archons.